had stalk eyes, a trunk-like snout with pincers, and a torpedo-shaped body that looked more alien than animal. No bones, no shell, no modern equivalent. This wasn't from science fiction. It was real. It lived over 300 million years ago, and it has haunted paleontologists ever since. They called it the Tully Monster. Discovered in the 1950s, this creature quickly became one of the most bizarre enigmas in the fossil record. Scientists have argued for decades about what it even is. A vertebrate? An invertebrate? A completely new branch of life? To this day, there's no scientific consensus. We've found thousands of Tully fossils, but nothing else like it, before or after. It's as if this thing popped into existence, made no evolutionary sense, and then vanished. But what makes the Tully monster so disturbing isn't just its looks. It's how every single piece of its biology seems wrong. It's a creature that breaks the rules of classification, and it might rewrite what we thought we knew about evolution. So what exactly was the Tully monster? Where did it come from? And why can't we figure it out, even after 60 years of research? Let's unravel the mystery, because this may be the strangest animal biology the planet has ever seen. In 1955, a retired pipe fitter named Francis Tully was hunting fossils along the banks of Mazon Creek in Illinois. This area, already famous for its exquisite preservation of Carboniferous life, had revealed ferns, jellyfish, even shrimp, but nothing prepared him, or science, for what he found next. He brought the specimen to the Field Museum in Chicago. Scientists stared, confused. No one could tell which end was the head. No one could identify its limbs, because it didn't seem to have any. It didn't fit any group they knew. Eventually, it earned an official name, Tullimonstrum gregarium, the common Tully monster. But that name was ironic, because nothing about this animal was common. It was singular. It was an evolutionary outlier. Tully monsters weren't rare fossils either. Over 1,000 have been discovered, but every single one is just as baffling as the last. Let's break it down. The Tully monster had a long, soft, cigar-shaped body, no bones, no segments. At the rear was a vertical tail fin, like that of a squid or cuttlefish. Not too strange, right? But then, things go sideways, literally. Two eyes protrude from a rigid horizontal bar that runs across its body. Imagine a T-shaped periscope growing out of your head. There's no other animal on Earth, alive or extinct, with this feature. At the front, a flexible trunk, or proboscis, extends outward. At its tip, a claw, or a jaw, or both. Scientists still aren't sure. It's lined with teeth-like structures, but no actual jaws. Was it grasping, slicing, sucking? The function is just as mysterious as the form. There's no mouth as we know it, no visible brain, no obvious organs, just soft tissue and anatomical chaos. As the fossils piled up, so did the confusion. Early researchers proposed that it was a segmented worm. Later, some argued it was a swimming mollusk, like a bizarre squid. Others thought it resembled an arthropod, perhaps related to shrimp. The problem? It matched none of them, entirely. Each hypothesis brought new debates, and each was torn apart by contradictory evidence. For example, mollusks don't have horizontal eye stalks. Worms don't have claws or fins. Arthropods have exoskeletons. The Tully monster has none. Then came a dramatic twist. In 2016, a team from Yale published a blockbuster study. They claimed the Tully monster was a vertebrate, specifically a jawless fish, something like a lamprey. They pointed to dark structures in the eyes, melanosomes, similar to those found in vertebrate retinas. They also claimed to find a notochord, which acts like a primitive spinal column. For a moment, the mystery seemed solved. In 2017, another group reanalyzed the same fossils. Their conclusion? The evidence was flawed. The melanosomes were inconclusive. The notochord might have been something else entirely, a collapsed gut or a decay artifact. A 2019 review by the Geological Society of London stated it clearly. There is no current consensus on what kind of animal the Tully monster was. The classification? Still completely unresolved. Even today, some paleontologists argue it was a vertebrate. Others are convinced it's something entirely different, a separate lineage that evolved strange features independently. If that's true, then we're not just looking at a weird animal. We're looking at a failed experiment in evolution. One of the biggest unknowns is how the Tully monster thought, sensed, or moved. Did it have a brain? We don't know. A spinal cord? Maybe. It may have had basic neural clusters, like a jellyfish, or a more complex nervous system like a fish. Jose eye structures, those bizarre stick-out side-facing eyes, do suggest advanced vision. Some believe it had stereoscopic sight, which would allow depth perception, an advantage for a predator. But again, we can't confirm it. Even its method of locomotion is unclear. Did it swim with side-to-side undulation? Did the tail fin provide propulsion like a fish? Or was it more like a rudder? 310 million years ago, Earth looked alien. The Mazon Creek ecosystem was tropical, dense, and oxygen-rich. Dragonflies with 2.5-foot wingspans filled the skies. Early sharks prowled the waters. Amphibians crawled through thick undergrowth. In this world, the Tully monster wasn't an anomaly. It was a predator, possibly a scavenger. It may have ambushed smaller prey from the muddy bottom, using its proboscis to snatch up worms or fish. Or it may have sifted detritus from the sediment. Its unique body shape may have helped it glide through low-oxygen waters. Its eyes, elevated and separated, could have scanned both the muddy bottom and the surface for danger or food. But unlike sharks or crabs or lungfish, the Tully monster left no descendants. It vanished. Fossils show no signs of adaptation, no evolutionary branching. It simply appears, remains unchanged, and disappears, leaving behind no lineage. Here's where the mystery hits its peak. After decades of research, scanning electron microscopes, chemical analysis, and comparative anatomy, we still don't know whether the Tully monster had a spine. That may sound small, but in biology, it's the most fundamental fork in the evolutionary road. Vertebrate or invertebrate? Everything hinges on that question. Fish, reptiles, birds, mammals, vertebrates, worms, mollusks, insects, invertebrates. Two kingdoms, separated by over 500 million years of evolution. Every new study seems to undo the last. Every new fossil raises more questions than it answers. Even its most basic biological functions, how it moved, what it ate, how it reproduced, remain complete unknowns. This isn't just about identifying a strange fossil. It's about whether we can even trust the rules of classification. Because if the Tully monster doesn't fit into our tree of life, maybe the tree itself is incomplete. Maybe the Tully monster is a dead end, a failed experiment, a one-time evolutionary glitch that never caught on. But maybe it's something bigger, a sign that life on Earth wasn't always so structured, that in the past, evolution ran wild, trying out body plans, features, and behaviors that no longer exist. That for every successful lineage like fish or mammals, there were dozens of creatures like Tullimonstrum, brief, bizarre, and utterly alien. So, what was the Tully monster? A fish? A worm? A monster? Maybe all of the above, or maybe none. All we know for sure is that it's one of the strangest things evolution ever cooked up. What do you think the Tully monster really was? Until next time, on Our Planet Extinct.